Does Sonic Movie 3 get Shadow right? Let's run it. No, not that run. Bro, you know what I'm talking about, man. By now, you probably know who Shadow is. To me, he was one of the most raw characters in this entire franchise. He is someone who stands on his own business and fights for the truth without letting anybody get in his way. Sometimes he fights for evil, sometimes he fights for good, but ultimately, he fights for what he thinks is right and determines his own path in life. No, he's not an edgelord, despite some of his edgy moments. And no, he's not always angry all the time. Let my man enjoy nature and peace. So much hate. They flippin' nailed him with this movie. Can I even go as far to say that this is probably Shadow at his most ultimate? Okay, maybe that's a reach, but they did him so much justice in this movie. I love how this movie doesn't hesitate to just fully lean into full-blown references and elements from Sonic Adventure 2. Like how Shadow wakes up from his slumber and immediately goes on the hunt for guns to get vengeance for Maria, since they killed her all those years ago. How many times am I gonna see this girl get shot again, bruh? She actually doesn't get shot in this one. What? Seriously? Alright, let me do it for you. What I really like is that they fleshed out the moments and interactions between Sonic and Shadow too. Like, we've always had those iconic moments about Sonic and Shadow in our head, like the confrontations in Sonic Adventure 2 and other sorts of media. And the same thing happens here, with the fights scattered all around the place, in which they slowly start to learn about each other, all culminating in the ultimate showdown at the end, which, by the way, is flipping peak. The fight scenes in this movie are absolutely sensational. I'm so sorry. This is peak video game movie adaptation. Heck, they even kept the whole trend with Shadow always attacking Tails first. Like, bruh, come on, man. The fact that you have one-sided beef with the Fox over different continuities is diabolical. But even with all that, that's not really what made me emotional and invested about this movie. What really got me immersed in this movie was how they would handle Shadow's character development. One thing that's always appealed to me about Shadow and just who he is how he finds himself. Why am I here? What is my purpose? Who am I supposed to be, truly? And we see that in the games, specifically Sonic Adventure 2. Let's go over a quick recap. He gets awakened from his 50-year dormance, if that's a word. I don't know. And immediately remembers his tragic past with Maria. That sets him on this path of rage and revenge. But the more you see him interact with other characters throughout the story, the more you see him sort of questioning his actions and the path he's taken on. And then bang, plot twist. All the characters have a common enemy and they all rush to put an end to it. Except Shadow. He doesn't see the need to try and stop the disaster that's right in front of him. Especially because he sees humanity entirely as the reason for the death of his best friend. Until Amy makes him realize that he doesn't need to take out his anger on humanity, that there's people down there on the earth that are loving and caring. He remembers Maria's words that will stick with him for the rest of his life.
Give them a chance to be happy.
And then he rushes to help with the current situation. That's the tipping point of this character. That's what makes Shadow great. He even sacrificed himself to save humanity that he once hated at the end. A Valentine hero, the peak of his redemption. And the way that the movie went about it was beautiful. It presents Shadow's development arc in many similar ways to Sonic Adventure 2, but the way the cinematics and the action and the storytelling presents itself makes this whole experience just a lot more heartfelt and beautiful. There's a point in the movie where we even see Shadow challenging Sonic's character, just constantly poking him with provocative interrogations to get him to break. But that just further exemplifies how desperate Shadow is to try and find answers and peace to the tragedy he's gone through and the grief he's experienced. Bro, that sentence was so long, what the flip? That tipping point comes again when Sonic helps him to see the light, teaching him that when anything happens, there's always choices to make, but you should always aim to make the right one. And thus, he teams up with Sonic and once again, sacrifices himself to save the day. No, but on a serious note, for anyone watching this video, you should probably go see this movie because it's really good. With all that to say, when I first came to this franchise, I always focused on the main man himself. His adventures always wowed me. I played some games where he's mainly present, like Colors and Unleashed. And as I grew older, I looked into older games like Rush and Sonic Adventure 2, which introduced me to Shadow. With what I've seen from his arcs in games like Sonic Adventure 2, his own game, and Sonic 06, I truly started to love this character. This movie serves as a love letter to not only Shadow fans or Sonic Adventure 2 or whatever, but to who he is as Shadow the Hedgehog. Whether that be the interactions he has with people, how his nice but really tragic events with Maria in the past drive some of his actions and his life moving forward, the incredible fight scenes and his overall development arc. Despite some negatives such as the occasional flat jokes here and there and the weird dragged out moments between Gerald and Eggman. What was this? When new fans come to this franchise, they're gonna see the Shadow that I saw, the Shadow that I grew up to understand. They're gonna see how great Shadow becomes over time as he learns about himself. The ultimate life form at his most ultimate. And the thought of that just makes me so happy with how this franchise moves forward and continues to give love and care and life to all of these characters. So, does Sonic Movie 3 get Shadow right? Absolutely.
All hail Shadow, heroes rise.